How did you keep motivated, as you were going through the exams? I'm sure there was a point, like you just said, where you were like, oh, I'm really over this. I just want it to be done. Don't even care how I go anymore. Like, how did you push through that? Were there any strategies you used to stay not even motivated, but just disciplined? What were your kind of habits around that period?
One of my key things was like my best mate and I, we pretty much did all the same subjects, and he was actually out of state for most of COVID, but we still made sure that we zoomed like every day. So we would jump on a Zoom at like 9 in the morning, and we'd work through to the night. So we were easily averaging 8, 9 hours a day, like
Mm.
peak study. And it was just that sense of connection. Like he and I are very close. We're both very similar in terms of our subjects. So just being able to, even if we weren't working together, just having someone, up on the screen here, kind of, doing the endless kind of work and slog with you was really helpful. It's probably the number one thing I did. You shouldn't also feel guilty about the times where you jump on a Zoom at 9 o'clock and you only end up working at 12, like midday through the rest of the afternoon, rest of the afternoon and night, because you obviously needed that connection. You know what I mean? Like, especially in the COVID times.
Yeah, that's such a great point. I'm so glad you brought that up. Like, that social connection is so important, and there is no point going on this journey alone as some kind of like lone wolf. Like, I have to do everything myself. Definitely, it's a critical part of the whole process, is to actually be part of some kind of community. And it's probably not spoken about enough how important that is on these journeys, because doing anything by yourself in a silo is only sustainable for so long. And then naturally, you're just going to procrastinate and not do what you're supposed to be doing, because you have no one who's sharing in that journey, keeping you accountable, and also keeping you motivated by help balance in that kind of the discipline of study, and then needing that relief, that social release as well.
I think especially with that social learning, like I'll give some business specific examples, which I think will be very helpful for someone. When my mate came back to Sydney and, the kind of lockdown lifted, um, I would go over to his a lot, and we would sometimes just literally sit in two chairs looking at, the syllabus. We'd have finance, ops, marketing, HR, and one of us would literally just point at a syllabus dot point and say, okay, tell me, the case study that because the school gives us case study, tell us the case study for that, or tell me the definition of that, or tell me advantages and disadvantages of that dot point in relation to that dot point. So the business syllabus is so big that you could literally sit there for days. I really didn't like focusing on, oh, what could they ask? Because I
Mm.
feel like that's an endless trap, which you're going to end up getting burnt at some point during year 12. But having that kind of, especially for dot points, which I wasn't completely across, having that discussion with someone else and getting those different kind of perspectives was really helpful as well.